welcome to this short demonstration of the Swatch UK Digita Practice Assurance Manual. This is a version of our normal Practice Assurance Manual or General Practice Procedures Manual, but it's specifically tailored to allow users of Digita Practice Management to work efficiently. This is achieved by us embedding Digita fields into the numerous template letters and documents. So, when a Digita user creates a new template document through Digita Practice Management, it's going to automatically pick up client details, such as their name, address, and so on, thereby avoiding the need to enter that known information again manually. So let's have a look at what's included in the product. When a subscriber logs in to dpam.swat.co.uk and has done the login procedure, this page is on view, and what we can see on the left is that all users of the Digita Practice Assurance Manual get access to all of the normal features that a subscriber of the Practice Assurance Manual or the General Practice Procedures Manual gets, i.e. what we can see on the left is there are a number of chapters giving guidance, and then slightly further down there is a section of specimen documents. So, what did we see here? There are 20 chapters that give guidance. So this is if you want to look up best practice of any areas of working in general practice. And we can see this manual does cover a significant number of areas. So it's really everything with the exception of audit and investment business. So we've got information in here on general procedures. We've got accounts prep for non-corporate entities, for audit-exempt companies. We've also got information on tax. Further down, there is information on the money laundering regulations, so really useful for all practices. There's information on dealing with clients' money if the firm using Digita Practice Assurance Manual is regulated. So if we wanted to, for example, look up information about cancelable contracts. We've perhaps heard about cancelable contracts. We've thought that this could be relevant to firms providing personal tax services, and we want to know more about it. What we would do is go into the engagement section of Office Procedures and have a look at this section on enforceability of engagement letters. And what we can see here is plenty of guidance on those two regs I just mentioned, so cancelable contracts and distance selling, and it explains in very clear wording the issues that general firms of accountants have to deal with and why in some cases, unless appropriate wording is used, engagement letters might not be enforceable. So really important stuff, and that's just an example of one of many. We might also say, want to look at the rules for professional conduct in the area of taxation. So if we would just have a look at the personal tax section, we can see at 7.1.7 there is information about professional conduct and the guidance that was issued by the professional bodies a couple of years ago now. So all sorts of general guidance within the manual about day-to-day life in practice, which is really useful to be able to access that when needed. But from my experience out and about with firms, what a lot of people really like about the manuals is the section on specimen documents, which we can see is further down in the list. So there is a big list of every specimen document that is included in this manual, and you can see, just if I scroll down this page, there are literally hundreds of specimen letters, specimen documents, really everything you could need to deal with general practice in an office. So at the moment we're looking at the same list that general subscribers of the Practice Assurance Manual would be able to access. These are the bog standard templates without the fields embedded into them. So if you wanted to use these, you could. So if we, for example, wanted to generate a disengagement letter for the client, we'd click on the appropriate link and a page specific for disengagement letters comes up. And with the majority of the templates, what we then get is a preview on the screen. So you can have a quick look and see, is this suitable for the purpose in hand? If so, we'll click download and actually open a Word document, which we'll just pull across. Here we go. So this is the template disengagement letter. So you can see it looks like such. You could pick it up and use it, but it would need editing manually. So that's that. So that's the general guidance and hundreds of templates that General Practice Assurance Manual or General Practice Procedures Manual subscribers get. But what we need to have a look at now is the extras you get through being a Digita Practice Assurance Manual subscriber. So I've returned to the home page now, and what we can see is straight away there's all information about how the Digita version works. And again, this guidance has been written with you in mind. It should be very straightforward. And what is key to the Digita Practice Assurance Manual is these pack of templates, like I mentioned before, that have got fields embedded into them that work with Digita Practice Management, so that the client data already saved into your database can be automatically pulled through into the letters. So it would be necessary, first of all, to download this separate pack, because it won't work if these just sit online. These need to be saved somewhere to your server so that Digita Practice Management can look at them. So what we can see, very easy step of procedures, 4-step approach. At step 1, we're going to be downloading this folder of Digita-specific templates. Okay, which will look like that. And what we can see in here is, once again, there are loads. So these are the 20 different chapters that we saw before, and within each there are numerous templates. And all of these have been set up to work with Digita Practice Management. So, for example, if we wanted, we're in the personal tax section, so if we wanted to have a look at the engagement letter, we could open it here. And what we can see, because we haven't opened it through Digita Practice Management, is at this stage we can actually see the fields that are embedded into the letter. But other than that, it is just looking like a normal template engagement letter. You might be wondering about all this yellow. This is what we've done to make it easier to tailor letters for your firm and your clients. We found through our experience over the years that it can be very time-consuming to tailor an engagement letter, and inevitably points get missed. So we'll often see on real-life files engagement letters getting sent out saying something like this: going to start on the year to 5th of April 20XX. So to avoid that, we now highlight everything that needs attention, where unless Digita Practice Management has done it for you, you need to make a decision, which should make the tailoring process much quicker. And we've done this on all of the template letters. So that's just opening a Digita template. What we really need to be doing is having a look at it now through Digita Practice Management. I've already saved these templates to my computer, so I'm just going to bring Digita Practice Management up on screen, and we'll work on the assumption that I've followed those steps 1 through to 4 and saved the templates to my computer or server and set up Digita Practice Management to look at that template folder. Okay, so my version of Digita Practice Management contains a sample of dummy clients. There's no real client data in here. What we can do is use one of the dummy clients. So let's say we'll use John Shop, because I know that's got full information stored into it already. And we can use DPM to now generate a couple of templates. So we're going to be creating an Office document. Here we are, the screen just went over there. And we're going to work through Digita's wizard, which is very straightforward. So we want to be generating a document using a template. This is telling Digita Practice Management to look at this folder that we've previously set up. And here we can see it's done so. So this is similar to that file structure we just had on screen with those various templates in. So if we now go back and find that personal tax engagement letter, so it's all done in alphabetical order, so PT for personal tax, and then we've got the 3 engagement letters that are within this chapter. So we want the general one. We'll select that and press next. For my purposes, I don't need a reference, but you could put one in if you needed. Again, I don't want to save it to a client file, but you could do if you wished. So we just work through the documents. I'm going to open it for printing so that we can view it on screen. And Digita Practice Management is working its magic. And here is another version of that personal tax engagement letter, but we can see we've got now client-specific information being pulled across. So it knows the client's name, it knows it's a sir rather than a madam, and any information that it can pull from Digita Practice Management, it is doing so. So once again, we've still got these yellow edits, and indeed the start of the personal tax engagement letters do now talk about these cancelable contract regulations to make sure your engagement letters are enforceable. But that does need editing depending on where you made the agreement with the client. So we can see that we know what to edit, and then this will be ready to go and send out to deal with the personal tax for the owner of John Shop. The other template we looked at before that we'll just create now for completeness was the disengagement letter. So John Shop has unwisely decided to leave us. So best practice when a client leaves is to issue a disengagement letter so that it's very clear where responsibilities lie and where the cut-off point is. So we select the disengagement letter and work through that same process that we saw before. And here we have it, a disengagement letter, but once again, client-specific information has come through in the address details, the client name details, the client business details. Also, it's picked up the year end, and it's picked up any other information that Digita Practice Management is holding. Once again, we've got the yellow highlights for anything that isn't held in Digita Practice Management, and we are good to go. So that is quite a time saver. Also, it's going to stop transposition errors. It's going to stop the situation of a client moving, but because we've started with the template used last year, the address coming up as standard as the old address, this is both efficient and a risk-reducing method. So really useful pack for Digita Practice Management users. So that is the Digita Practice Assurance Manual. All of it's now online, as you've been seeing as we've been working through this demo. So once you're set up as a subscriber, you get your login information and you can access all of the guidance in the chapters on best practice within all of these work areas. You can access those hundreds of specimen documents with or without fields, depending on the purpose for which you are going to use it. You can access that folder of Digita templates and work through the 4 steps to set it up with Digita Practice Management, and then it should all work smoothly. Hopefully that's been a useful overview, but do feel free to call us on 0845 450 5555 should you have any queries whatsoever. Thanks for listening.